Good morning and welcome to a day in my life living in my off-road Volkswagen bus from 1986. Today we're waking up in a Planet Fitness parking lot. I like to do that while I'm traveling and on the road so I can immediately wake up and get working out. I usually start my day off with a morning walk to get the blood flowing and to get some light in my eyes. And then I'll come back to the van to get some caffeine and food in me to get me ready for my workout. Now, even though the gym is just right over there, I'm still gonna drive over and park right in front of the window so I can wash the van as I work out and as I'm in the gym. This van is literally my life. I live out of it, I make all these videos out of it, I do everything out of this van. It's the most expensive thing I've ever bought, and it holds all my possessions, so I never leave it out of my sight. And I never leave the chance for something dumb to happen. So even though I probably don't need to, I'm gonna move the van right in front of the gym so I can watch as I work out. And you know, the van's pretty, it's good to look at too. There is part of me that feels paranoid about doing stuff like this and being so careful with the van, but then I'll read a post about someone getting all of their life possessions stolen and their van destroyed that they poured tons and tons of money and you know, months to years worth of work into. I'm like, oh, okay. It's justified. Got a good spot right in the back of the parking lot. I can see the van from the windows over there. I've already parked here before in the past, and I'm also parked way to the right so people can't park next to me and door ding the van. People suck, and a lot of people don't care about their car, so they think you don't care about your car, and they'll just open their door right into the side of your van, and they have no care consideration that someone like me spent months on months on months looking for a very clean van. So part of the theme here is I try to take all the responsibility of my van being safe. I also don't like to be put into those scenarios. Like if someone opens up their door into the van and leaves a mark, I'm going to be livid. And I want to limit those kind of scenarios as much as I possibly can. With that being said, it's time to go get a pump on, baby. One of the hardest things to do in van life is have any sort of routine, which has been one of the bigger challenges for me since I love working out. So over the last couple months, I've made getting to the gym early a priority, not only because I love it, but also so it instills some sort of normalcy in my life. Another reason the gym is a staple in my routine is because they have nice warm showers, which is an absolute luxury when you're living on the road. As the weather's cooled down, the insulation that I installed on the van has really been putting in some work. As you can see, we got about a 25-degree temperature differential, which has been becoming very important because it's getting below freezing for like the rest of the week, and as we get into winter, it's gonna happen more and more often. So even though it was a ton of work up front, I'm very glad I did all the insulation that I did on this thing. Yeah, I like to eat right after I work out. That's one of the best times to eat for all the glycogen restoration and all that kind of crap. Usually I'll cook up a little something, but that takes a long time, so I kind of only do whenever I have time. But today, we're going to the cheap and relatively healthy Chipotle. God, it sounded like a weird advertisement for Chipotle. It wasn't. It's just relatively cheap, relatively healthy. And when I'm filming all day like today, it's very handy. Now that your boy is nice and happy and fed, it's time to start the rest of our day. Usually I try to get to this point of the day with my first post up on Instagram and all my short form content, workout, fed, by 11 o'clock, but today it's, what is it? It's fucking 12:30, so we're running a little bit behind schedule just because I'm filming making this video. Gotten a bunch of stuff done so far, and we're headed into the mountains. The battery that powers the van and all of my stuff is also around 78% right now, which is not bad. It doesn't need to be charged, but I'm in Washington and I rely heavily on solar to charge the battery, and it is cloudy all the time. It's gonna be cloudy for the next couple weeks here. So anytime I can charge that battery on a drive, I will do it and pump a bunch of energy into it just to make sure I never run out of power. So that's another thing I think about is like, oh, am I going to be doing a relatively long drive, like an hour or two coming up? Because then I can blow through all my power if I want to or if I need to, and then I can charge it back up on that drive. Or will it be sunny enough and I don't have to drive at all and the van will just charge in the sun? So there's a bunch of stuff that I take into consideration because essentially I am monitoring and managing an off-grid power system. So that's just another thing I think about and consider whenever I'm living this life. But before we get into the mountains, we gotta get groceries. Such a significant part of living this life is just running errands. Of course, you only have so much storage, so you have to constantly be replenishing and refilling stuff, and groceries and all that kind of stuff to get ready to go into the mountains is just constant. Right, and now that our fridge is packed and ready to go for the next couple days in the mountains, it's time to get gas, which is conveniently right there. And now we can finally get on the road to the campsite tonight. Quick and dirty fire today, quick and dirty. It is cold out here. Last week the low was like in the 50s. This week it's in the 20s. It is dropping down in temperature and it is much colder up here than I thought. There's snow up here, which I had no idea. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, I gotta get this fire going, burn through it, and then get in the warm van because the thing's all nice and cozy and it's chilly out here. We're not camping, we're, you know, luxury living. I don't have a lighter, I just realized. Here we go. Ah! Oh man, working with dry wood is so much better. If you watched yesterday's video, me and my friends were building fires with just like the wettest soaked wood that's been sitting out here in the forest. And it was kind of a nightmare. Fun with them, but whenever I'm alone, I'm glad I have actual dry wood. A couple paper towels, a couple of sticks thrown in there, and we are ready to go. Oh, that's nice. It's hard to give a really accurate representation of what my daily van life looks like because every day is so incredibly different. I mean, that's kind of one of the good things about van life is that you're constantly doing new things, constantly going on new adventures, meeting new people, but routine is hard doing van life. It's borderline impossible to have a set routine. You can try to have routines that you do every single day, but it's so hard because each day brings a new challenge and a different experience in a different place, and you don't know the area, and it's just all these different variables, so it's really hard to have a set routine. And especially being someone who makes videos and works for myself, it's all over the place. My schedule is all over the place. Like for example, the reason I woke up in that parking lot this morning is because I edited from when I woke up to when I went to bed yesterday to get yesterday's video and a bunch of content and Instagram posts done. And I woke up this morning and started filming this. And then I'll probably do the same thing tomorrow. I'll probably stay here with this incredible view and edit all of tomorrow, edit this video, and then either sleep here or if I have time, I'll head back down to the Planet Fitness and get another workout in. But yeah, it's just all over the place. Today is kind of what my average filming day would look like, or maybe a day off. I don't take too many of those, but every once in a while, whenever I do, I'll go and hang out with friends. I'll do something like this just to myself and not film it. It really doesn't happen too often because if I'm going to go to the trouble to do something like this, I'm going to film it, you know? Yeah, honestly, a lot of van life is pretty boring and not really filmable, especially driving days. Driving days, I wake up, start driving, do a bunch of pit stops throughout the day, sleep at a rest stop, sleep at a gas station, sleep at some sort of parking lot, wake up and start driving again. Fire's not happy about driving days, tell you that. All right, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this fire, throw that other bundle on, and retreat to the van because it's gonna be nice and toasty in there. You can see we gained a good amount of power, but I'm using my AC down here to charge all my devices, and it's drawing a lot of power too. So it's always just a balance of charging, waiting till the daytime to get solar, and using and charging my devices whenever I can, and taking the power out of the battery bank. Ah, what do we got? What do we got? I promise I don't always have strawberries for dinner. I realized I did that in a previous video, a couple videos ago. This isn't usual, but sometimes when I'm filming, I do weird things out of sync. It's kind of weird, I've gotten used to this, but I'm in a cool scenario, right? Like, this is a beautiful place to camp out for the night, as you guys probably saw. But for me, I'm kind of, you know, you get used to everything, and I'm getting used to this for sure, and I pulled up, and I was just like, yeah, this is another one of these, you know? Not to say that I don't appreciate it, but it's, you know, it's getting more normalized, which is kind of crazy. And I'm familiar with this area, but being able to do this kind of day in an area I'm not familiar with it's so fun, and it's such a good way to explore and experience new areas and to get new crazy stories, because those are not uncommon whenever you're living van life. All right, I'm gonna turn my AC off, which turns off my main battery, or my lights. Not main battery. What am I doing? Off. I got that perfect. Holy crap, no wonder I was so cold outside. It's already dropped down to 35 degrees outside. That's crazy. It's not even 7 p.m. yet. That diesel heater's going though. She is nice and toasty. All right, the rest of the night was pretty boring. I just edited for a couple hours, but I just got into my nice, warm, cozy bed. The diesel heater is on, which is good because it is getting cold. As you can see, it is 26 degrees outside right now, so well below freezing. So hopefully my diesel heater will stay on and keep you warm all night. It should. It's been pretty good recently, but you know, knock on wood. Anyways, see you guys in the morning. And so another day of van life and living on the road begins with a nice little morning walk, even though it's freezing, so much colder than it was just like 2 days ago. The rest of the day will probably be spent in that thing right there, editing for the entire day, and I'll probably sleep here again tonight and wake up and then head on to the next spot. Making this video kind of put into perspective how crazy different my life is, even just from like a little over a year ago, which is, you know, it's weird to think about. I started this journey of living nomadically and doing what I'm doing now just about 2 years ago, ended my lease at my house a little over a year and a half ago. So yeah, it's crazy to think that like, this is my life now. This is what you just saw is my life on a day-to-day basis. As accurate and also in the most entertaining way that I could possibly make it. Whew, god damn, look at how good that van looks. Just sitting pretty. This spot is so cool because just right over there you can see Mount Rainier. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. That little guy right there. Big old Mount Rainier. I know you guys saw it on the drone footage, but it's pretty freaking cool. I like this spot. I like this area. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see something similar to this, you have any other questions about van life, any of that kind of stuff, drop it down in the comments. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!